So, what if I told you that right now the two most dominant guards in the NBA are winning in completely different ways? In both cases are impossible to argue against. The Oklahoma City Thunder are 24-2, and that's their best start in franchise history. They sit at first in the Western Conference, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, well, he's the engine behind it. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic and the Lakers are off to their best start since the 2020-21 season, sitting 4th in the West and looking more organized offensively than they have in years. We're talking about two MVP level players leading two highly scouted teams, but both have two very different public perceptions. Fans love Shai because he feels inevitable. He scores efficiently, controls games without forcing the issue, and can carry a team without hijacking possessions. But on the flip side, fans also criticize him. You'll hear a lot of talk that he's a foul baiter, that he hunts whistles, and that the refs save him night after night. When you shift over to Luka, he gets criticized too. A lot of people will say he searches for calls, complains when he doesn't get them instead of getting back, and that his defense, especially when frustrated, can become a major issue. But with every negative comes a positive, because fans love Luka for a lot of reasons. And yes, playing for the Lakers takes this to another level, but more than anything, they love how Luka controls the game. From his passing, to his shot making, and all the way to his ability to dictate where every defender stands on the floor simply by him just being out there. It's truly a stressful night for whatever team has to face either of these guys on any given night, so this is where the question becomes simple but uncomfortable. If you had to choose one of these players to lead your team right now, who are you choosing? Now listen, I already know some of you already have your answer picked and whatnot, but just wait, because when we dive deep into this film together, you'll see that this isn't a surface level talent debate. It's actually a debate about how you want to win. When looking at Shai and Luka, they dominate games using pace, but they apply it in completely different ways. Shai's game, well, is built on balance, and with me saying that, I'm not just talking about physical, it's about mental balance. He never looks rushed, he never looks sped up. Even when he's attacking downhill, everything always feels controlled, almost like he has a calming presence. When comparing him to other guys in the league, it's not that Shai is some guy who overwhelms defenses with speed or power mainly, as he combines a little bit of everything, but it all comes down to angles and timing. He'll hesitate just long enough to get a defender upright, then change directions or speed in a way that creates separation without ever looking way too explosive, and that's why his scoring feels so smooth. You don't see panic dribbles, you don't see forced shots. Everything flows into the next action, and if you want to put it in simple terms, his game is just seamless. Now Luka, on the other hand, well, he's playing chess while everyone plays checkers. And some of you may hate that saying, but it is what it is. He moves slow, and sometimes it's painfully slow. But that's exactly the point. Doncic forces defenders to reveal their intentions as he waits for the help to sink in, and once he sees them try to cheat rotations, he punishes them. Whether it be a sharp pass that leads to an easy look for his teammates, or if it's him getting to a desired spot on the floor, Doncic will make sure to get what he wants, and sometimes he makes it look effortless. So basically, Luka breaks defenses by reshaping their scheme, and Shai bends the defenses by slipping through gaps. And while Shai's scoring tends to look seamless, Luka's scoring comes from audacity. You'll see Luka take shots most players are coached not to take. I'm talking about deep covered step backs, one-legged fades, off-balance threes late in the shot clock, and he takes them with complete confidence. But hold on, here's where things really separate. Shai is highly efficient on a consistent basis, and even if he doesn't score, his presence on the floor still makes the possession work for his team. And for Luka, he may not always be the most efficient guy on a night-to-night basis, but most likely, if he's having a bad shooting night, he'll make up for it with the way he can facilitate the ball. All this here is the foundations of their game, and as we all know, talking is something all of us can do. So it's time we actually showcase their games on a deeper level so we can make the right decision of who we want to pick for our team. Starting with the MVP, SGA. When you watch Shai on film, the first thing that stands out is how intentional everything is. There's no wasted movement whatsoever. With one of his best skills being that change of pace, you can see when coming up the floor here versus the Pacers, Shai is starting off with a moderate jog, but once he sees this angle he can take to the basket when coming off the screen, he shifts gears to get downhill past Toppin, but right here is where he is different than a lot of players. Most will try to use their sheer speed to beat the defender to the rim, but Shai instead gets into Toppin's body to basically X him out the play while using this to bounce off, and with a quickness to adjust to Siakam coming over for the help, Shai puts this up quickly and high off the glass. Other times, he won't even have to worry about defenders at the rim as much, as when he delivers his pace change, he can totally break past defenders when he crosses past them, and all that's left for them to do is to foul from behind when they try to recover back.
Alexander gets by, Shepard fouls him, no need to foul him, he's been past him already.
This here is why so many of his drives look uncontested even when defenders are technically around him. Now, not only will it be the change of pace that gets defenders when he's operating to the rim, because his handle can make defenders assume he's going to get into that step back, which in turn makes them step up. But here's the issue. It may seem small, but when that top foot comes up high like this when an offensive player is attacking, it makes it to where Easton now has to open up his hips completely just to stay with Shai. But we already know, once he has that advantage, there's practically nothing you can do. Furthermore, the driving game isn't the only thing defenders have to worry about with Shai. You can ask me, you can ask your brother, you can ask your mama. His bread and butter really comes in that in-between area. And this here is where you can see him use every move in the bag to break defenders. Say his man is crowding him tight defensively, he'll use that hit stick to flow right into a step back over the top. In another possession, if he wants to string together different moves, Shai will avoid the double team by changing directions to then bump into his defender to get into a pull-up, and although he didn't create much space, this was also he could bounce into his shot, and with the defender right in his landing space, this becomes an and one.
The lead as slim as it gets, but add two more. SGA plus the foul.
This bump mechanic and change of direction lead to so many opportunities for Shai to score in this mid-range, but trust and believe, he can use that handle to all-out cook defenders as well. Take this play for an example. When he has one of the premier defenders in the league on him, Shai used that double cross to shift him in off his route, so now with him in working to recover on his hip, SGA can sidestep away to create even more distance, and this right here is straight cash. Now for the times he has to beat multiple defenders, Shai will shut off one completely with the behind the back, break past the next with a push cross into a spin off, and just like the last play, the sidestep is added in for good measure. Whether it's the mid-range where he's cooking defenders with his navigation skills, or if it's drives that lead to and ones, Shai can get wherever he wants when he's inside the arc, and with his improved 3-point shooting this year of 45% on 5 attempts, if you give him any space, or if he's just in rhythm, he'll let it fly with no hesitation. I'm talking about deep clutch pulls to extend his team's lead,
SGA off the deck. Oh! Buries another one from the...
or if he's using that combo handle size up, just know you better step up.
Buddy Hill tries to get out there. SGA says too late.
Yeah, there's many ways Shai can score while keeping things calm and poised, and although we don't think of passing when it comes to his game, defenses will tend to double him a lot when he's working to go score, and this is when the opportunity presents itself for him to wrap this pass around the defense to complete one of his 6.5 assists per game. All this here is how Shai can control the game while playing at his own speed and showing everyone what it means to be fully in control. And some of us may like it or may not. And for those of you that don't, well, how about when we shift over to the new face of the Lakers and Luka Doncic? As much as these guys have things in common, Luka's film, well, it looks completely different. Times where Shai is subtle, Luka is assertive. And where Shai reacts based off what the defense does, Luka instead dictates what they do. Such as on this play here where he posted up Champagny. Luka spots Jackson Hayes on the opposite side of the paint, so he spins off to show that he's going to get into a turnaround pull-up, but this is what I mean by he dictates what the defense is going to do. This spin-off makes Sohan rotate over, and this was Luka's plan all along.
No offense creation. Alley-oop, counted on a foul. Doncic, the perfect pass.
Time and time again, Doncic will throw defenders off with his ability to send sharp passes across the court before they can even rotate, and believe me when I say it, some of his passes are so amazing that they fake the defense out completely before connecting with an open teammate. Now if you want to see a full passing analysis, I have that on my channel, but as we all know, Luka destroys defenses with his scoring, and it's from all 3 levels. When first diving into his drives, they aren't about speed, they're about abusing angles and precision. Coming off this screen here, Jimmy Butler is hedging hard to stop Luka from coming off and attacking the basket. Now this right here is where it's all about his ability to exploit angles, as he sharply cuts back to break through the middle of the defenders, and then once hitting the paint, he doesn't crash inside with Draymond on the help. He just uses that soft touch with the floater. This shift of directions can honestly catch the defense off guard due to Luka switching up his pace when doing so, and when guarding Doncic, once a defender gets behind him, the possession is practically over. If you look at Kawhi, he's on the side of Doncic trying to recover at this point, but with his craftiness, Luka lunges into Kawhi while this happens, and here we go with the and one.
Doncic back to work, contact foul to the line, chance for 3.
Yeah, his unpredictability on the court can put the defense in a state of confusion, but it's not only with his drives and floaters. In the mid-range, Luka is comfortable taking shots that defenders think they defended well. He'll step through, pivot, fade off one leg, or stop on a dime. Pretty much just anything you can think of, he can pull off. Such as on this attack, Kuzma plays extremely solid defense when cutting off Doncic, but sometimes it's just not enough for an elite shot maker.
Luka fading, spinning, and hitting.
Other times, he'll feel that contact when navigating to his spot to immediately get into a shot for the and one.
There's Doncic, counterfeit goes! A little magic magic from Luka.
And then when he wants to slow it down and put his back to the basket, it doesn't matter how good your contest is, as Luka simply doesn't see it. These shots we just seen aren't bailouts. These are shots Luka practices because he knows defenses are designed to make everything hard for him. When you look at guys around the league, they usually aren't capable of making shots this tough on a consistent basis. But for Luka, this is a walk in the park, and it gets even crazier when he's operating from deep range. Luka's three-pointers are often momentum killers for opposing teams. Whether it's a deep step back over a 7-footer from 28 feet,
Picking up Doncic, step back, likes that step back three and nails that one.
or if he just decides to rise it from 36 feet when the defender goes under the screen, you already know it's a done deal.
From the logo. Man.
So listen, whether he's passing and breaking the defense completely or scoring, this makes Luka one of the most unguardable players in NBA history. But here comes the real debate. Shai, he'll give you consistency, efficiency, and two-way engagement. Basically, a superstar who elevates everyone without needing to dominate the ball all the time. Now Luka, he gives you control, and I'm talking about total control. He's a player who decides how the game is played possession by possession and can completely take over. But also, Shai stays composed while Luka plays with emotions, sometimes to his benefit, sometimes to his detriment. One quietly dismantles defenses while the other loudly bends them to his will, and that's why this question doesn't have a clean answer. Because it's really not about who's the better player, it's about who you trust. Who do you want holding the ball when everything breaks down? Who do you want setting the tone for your team? And who do you want leading the game, not just playing in it? So now it's time for you to decide. Because no matter which side you're on, one thing is clear. We're watching two of the most unique offensive guards the NBA has ever seen. So let's do it. Me, you, and everybody in the comments, let's debate. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.